what's up, guys? Autofanatic got a 2017 ATS-V Sedan, 6-speed manual, no sunroof. I'm going to do a quick oil change video for you guys. Maybe there's guys out there that have this car, and it should be pretty painless. Got the car up on my wood service stands. Check my Instagram. I threw a little video of how easily it is to do. You just throw the jack under the front subframe. This is an incredible high-performance sports sedan, the best in the segment up until the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio came out. So stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to have a full detailed review of this car now that I own an Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. And I want to talk a little bit about this car because this is an awesome car that's no longer made. GM discontinued it. This is based on the Alfa platform, which is the cts-v and the new 6th gen Camaro. It is probably one of the best platforms out of General Motors still to this day. So we don't know what they're going to do in the future, but this is going to be one hard thing to top, I'll tell you that. But they're most likely going to do it. And they incorporated aluminum architecture in the suspension, triangulation. There's just so much about it. In this video, I'm going to put a link to the engineering video by Dave Leone of GM Performance. If you guys are into the technical aspects of this car and what went into it, I'll put that link. Check out that video because if you're into the tech aspect of cars, you guys are going to love it. As far as what went into this platform. It's just unbelievable. So let me get set up and take the camera under the car. We'll get this thing started. Hopefully it'll be done in less than 15 minutes. All right, guys, we're under the car right now. Just want to show you some of the coolness under here. And this is the aluminum shear plate that reinforces the front subframe to the unibody. Right here. Here's your engine oil drain plug, and here's the oil filter with a nice access. So there's no stupid plastic panels that's going to make a mess. You can easily get to the filter. It's not like my Shelby, which is a total disaster. But like I said, this is going to be pretty painless, pretty easy. This engine holds like about 6 quarts of oil. So you guys can see there's the Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. Here's the full dual exhaust all the way back. Got a nice cast aluminum transmission mount. This is one stiff unibody. It is unbelievable. You can see some of the aluminum there, part of the suspension and the subframe, and that's why this is so damn good, this car. It was engineered the right way, the way European high-performance cars are done. And you can see here, these are the magnetic ride control sensor levelers right there. See that? You got your nice 6-piston Brembo brakes in yellow. All aluminum, cast aluminum knuckles, spindle, uprights, and everything. This is such an awesome car, and it's got a phenomenal braking system, incredible suspension system, everything about it. It's just a very, very dynamic car. So let me get the camera set up. We'll get this thing drained out and knock it out in a couple minutes. The drain bolt off. It's a 15 millimeter that you're going to need. So we'll just crack it loose, and then we'll push the pan back in there. Okay, right there. Let's see how much of a mess this is going to make. So I made a little bit of a mess because it shot out. The oil's actually really hot right now. So we're going to let that drain for about 15 minutes and come back. All right, guys, we're back. Let it drain out for about 15 minutes. This car has not had an oil change in a long time, from looking at the oil visually. And a friend of mine bought this car locally used. I was actually buying this car because I was looking for a daily driver, and then the 6-speed kind of was really what I wasn't after, and then the 8-speed automatic I just don't like. So that's how I ended up with the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. But this car is incredible, and I'm glad my friend took it because it's a great value. So just snug up the drain plug, don't kill it, just like that with a 15 millimeter. Now we're going to use my Tecton, just move the light around under here. And like I said, having a clean epoxy garage floor is what you want when you're working on cars if you're doing this kind of work. Because if you have any of those garage tiles with the holes in them and you get oil on the floor, oh, you're going to go crazy. So this epoxy floor is held up really, really well for all the work I do in here. So we're just going to grab it Victory. So it wasn't seized like my GT350. Thank God. Because I had a long day. I don't want to deal with that today. And I tell you, having the access panel stamped into this shear plate really makes servicing this car really easy for a DIY. That's it. So we're going to let that drain out for a couple of minutes, put the new oil filter in, and we're going to load it up. So this was a pretty painless oil change on the Cadillac ATS-V. And we'll do some cleanup, recycle the oil, and we're done. Guys, I'm just going to show you how I prep oil filters always. So I take the cap off one of the quarts of oil and I fill it with oil, and then I just go all the way around the seal. You know, do it with gloves on, of course, just to get it nicely coated all the way around. You also could put a little bit in here on the threads, but the rubber seal is what's important. Some guys I know fill the filter up depending on the application and they put it in the car, but that's too much of a risk of making a mess, and I'm not going to do that. So just locate where the oil filter goes and hand screw it in. So that's it. I just cleaned up the oil filter with a shop towel, and you want to go hand tight. You don't want to kill it. And what I'll most likely do is I'll just clean this with a little parts cleaner and put on a new glove, and that's pretty much how I'm going to torque this thing down. I don't think I'm going to put a wrench on it. I don't think it needs it, and it just might be some overkill. So let's move over to the top of the car. We're going to fill the oil up from the top, check the levels, and call it a day. Alright guys, so we're pretty much done at the bottom of the car. I pulled my drain pan out, cleaned up a quick spill with the shop towels. A lot of guys have been asking me, how do you get the car up and off the wood service stands that I show you? So you just place the jack, or two jacks, I have one on the other side, underneath the subframe, front or rear, or pinch wells depending on where your jacking points are, and you're just going to jack up the car just like that, and you slide it right out and gradually lower the car. So now if you have two jacks, you could do them simultaneously, or if you have a helper, somebody could be on the other side, and you could literally get any car up in the air on all fours to do any service work in a matter of minutes. You don't need to set up jack stands. You don't need to get one of those portable low-rise lifts. This is easier, it's safe, and it's just so cost-effective. I've been doing it for years. All the hot rod guys, all the custom muscle car builders and show car builders, that's what they have in all their shops, and that's how I learned how to adapt that to work on my cars. And you can make them any height you want, and I'll most likely, when I have some time, I'll pull out my cabinet saw, miter saw, and I'll show you guys how I go about measuring and making them for the cars in your household or the cars you're going to work on. So mine are pretty much universal to work on pretty much any car, up to a 14-inch wide wheel, up to a 22-inch tire as well. So let's just move over to the top and get this oil loaded up and get this car out of here. Last step of the oil change on the ATS-V. Just put the oil filler cap somewhere where you're not going to lose it. Drop your funnel in there. And my friend just bought everything at the GM dealer earlier today. That's what he wanted to do, because he wanted an OEM filter, so he bought the OEM oil that goes in it. This car was actually low on oil by about 1.25 quarts, so we're going to put all 6 quarts of the case in the car. Like I said, who knows when the last time that this oil was changed, because he got the car pre-owned from a local guy, and I don't think the local guy took very good care of it. So we already did some new tires on the car, got P4S's, repainted the brake calipers, did a couple of paint work of the black trim and stuff like that. And we got some carbon fiber stuff coming, air intake, a tune, and definitely an exhaust, because this car needs an exhaust. So this was a pretty painless oil change, and I tell you, you gotta love when a manufacturer makes it easy for the owner or a tech to do service on a car by not putting the filter in a backwards location that you got to kill yourself to get to it. So That's one thing I can't stand on the GT350. The angle and the location of that oil filter is just an afterthought. And I don't think it was for packaging. I think it was just a dumb decision that nobody was thinking about. Alright, so I let the engine run just for a few minutes. And now we're going to check the dipstick, make sure we're on point. And so far, we're looking good. So if you're below the level, that means you just got to top it off a little bit. So this car took all 6 quarts because it was burning oil and it was low on oil. And my friend was actually getting nervous, and I kind of forced him. I was like, go get the oil. I got to do this for you immediately. Yeah, so our levels are good. So that's it, guys. That's the simple DIY oil change. Cadillac ATS-V. You just need a 15mm ratchet and a socket, and an oil filter wrench, pair of pliers, and that's it. Just some 5W30, proper oil filter, and you're good to go. So stay tuned to the channel. There's going to be more videos on this car, reviews, tire discussion, chassis discussion, everything in between. So see you guys soon. autofanatic@yahoo.com. Go to my website, auto-fanatic.com. Stay tuned for more automotive content. See you guys later.